I don't want to overkill this video output I've done in the last 2 days, but I just have to give extra props to Andre Ward because I was just watching some highlights of the fight with Chad Dawson. And let's go back to the Carl Froch fight with Andre Ward. Carl Froch has a very powerful jab, a very accurate jab. I studied both fights, and I can normally break down base weaknesses and strengths. But what is it that Andre Ward does in the ring that your jab just becomes a useless piece of fucking shit? He done the same thing to Carl Froch, and Carl Froch wasn't weight weakened. Yeah? So let's not make too much about this Chad Dawson weight loss, because let me tell you this, yeah? Chad could come down to 168 from light heavy and fight somebody who is not as technically efficient as Andre Ward. And even if they had a hard punch, he'd have a 90-odd% chance of beating them. You know why? Because when you have a jab like Chad Dawson and you can establish it, you have to be an exceptional fighter to defeat him, even if he's weight weakened. Once he can establish the jab, he doesn't have to fight a physical fight. And thus not fighting a physical fight, he doesn't have to worry about if he's weight drained so much because he's controlling the bout. But if you take away the jab from him, and let's think of it like this, even if he wasn't weight weakened and you take the jab away from him, he'd be in trouble. But you add the factor in that he's got a guy who's treating his jab like a piece of shit, that you can't hit me with it. What's the point you throwing it? Make it apprehensive to throw it, like he did against Carl Froch. You add that into the mix, you add the fact that he had to lose all that poundage. He's fucked. I think the fact that he couldn't land a jab was probably hurting him more than the weight loss. So, all these people putting Andre Ward under the radar, oh, this isn't a big fight and he's not I don't think you guys realize, some of us really don't realize when life is good until you lose shit. Let me tell you that now. This guy's a special fucking talent. A special, special talent. And I'm banging the drum for him. Or I wouldn't have done a fourth video in 20 odd hours. Big up Andre Ward. Big the fuck up. Big up. Big up. Big up. Someone's got to cheerlead. And I don't care how embarrassing it is to do 4 videos. I'll cheerlead. I'll do it. I don't fucking mind. I'm good with that. There's a lot of fucking hating out there. And this is why I'm going to call you a hater. Because even if you're saying he's a good fighter, you're still not giving him his due. You're still not saying, yo, this guy is the pound for pound best fighter. This guy has neutralized and deconstructed more styles than any active fighter out there. You're not doing that. You're not doing that. You say, yeah, he's a good fighter. Yeah. Fuck you. And you get all these clown champions and you guys are bigging them up because they're fighting in exciting fights. The fights are already exciting because they're deficient in the finer subtleties of the sport. So they're banging each other's brains out. That doesn't make them elite fighters. That just means they have a lot of deficiencies in their style. Yeah? We gauge elite fighters by who they fight and how they deal with them. That's how we do it. Not 2 cavemen with 2 clubs in their hand going, bish, bush, bish. No, it doesn't work like that. I know you're trying to switch it that way, and that's why I'm going to keep this fucking high video output. I'm not going to let you do it. I'm not going to let you do it. And I know I've got support out there. I'm cheerleading for Andre Ward. You see, subliminally, these that I'm talking about are building their own group who are bringing in unfair stipulations. They're bringing in their own unwritten rules. And what they're really trying to do by bringing their own agendas and criterias into the game is even up the playing field for the, let's say for a better word, fighters who are not as skilled. They have a lot of deficiencies, but they're in toe-to-toe wars. They're trying to even up the playing field for them by marginalizing the work that the skillful boxer does. Getting hit and not getting hit, which is the written rule of how boxing fights are scored. But they're trying to go outside that to make it look like, yeah, even though you're doing that, you still don't deserve success. You don't deserve the victory. You don't deserve this. You don't deserve that. You don't deserve accolades. So they can marginalize the success that skillful boxers like Andre Ward and B-Hop and Pernell Whitaker, and on a lower level of the food chain, the Richard Abrils, and the guy who lost controversially to Tavares Cloud. So they can say, yeah, but he's boring. He's boring. I've got no problem that he lost the decision because he didn't stand toe-to-toe and fight and shit like that. And say dumb shit like he didn't throw enough punches, when that is not in the rule book. It's about effective punching, not just doing a Jackson Pollock painting and throw whatever at the wall and whatever sticks, you're saying, yeah, that's it. No, it's not. That's not the sport. That's not how it operates. That's not the criteria of how scoring a boxing fight works. It doesn't go like that. It might be a nice stat for the CompuBox to say, yeah, he threw 1,000,000 punches. All we need to know is how much he landed. That's all we need to know. That's the only criteria that a judge has to work with officially, because I'm not stupid. I know there's judges who think just like these morons who I'm describing in the vid, because they had a preconceived notion of how the fight should play itself out and conclude. But you're not allowed to do that. You shouldn't be a judge. It should be who lands the most effective punches. Bottom line. I don't care if you're slugging or you're boxing. That's it. And look, let's not get it twisted. I have criticized Vladimir Klitschko because I haven't liked certain tactics he's done, like leaning on the opposition's neck, you know, and the referees haven't reprimanded him. But it's more the referee's fault than his. And at the same time, I'm not going to say, well, he didn't deserve the victory. He didn't deserve to have his belt. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. That is taken away from the man's accomplishments. That is not right.
Even though everybody thought you had a great chin, now it's become known as the chin. One of the best chins in all of boxing at this point. Is that something that you find to be a great attribute, or are you just getting hit too much to have to put it to the test?
I'm getting hit too much. It's wrong. I shouldn't be getting hit. The best chin is the one that doesn't get hit, let me tell you. That's the best chin in the business.
What do you think of this guy's chin? I mean, he took some blows that really would have knocked down walls.
In the school of boxing that I come from, that's frowned upon, giving up free shots. Because we know what those kind of shots do to a man's career, regardless of whether it shows up now or shows up when you least need it. It takes a toll. He's got one body, one brain, and the more shots you take, the quicker you break down in the sport. So I think he takes a good shot, but I take a good shot too. But taking too many shots is not good for any fighter.
I'll second that.
And that's not really the reputation you really want.
The only difference with the Klitschkos and Andre Ward is the Klitschkos have inept challengers. Andre Ward is deconstructing and defeating a various amount of styles. Olympic gold medalist, Super 6 winner. Can't let you do it, man. I can't allow that. I can't allow you guys to stomp all over an accomplished fighter's credentials like that when it's unfair. You win the Super 6, undisputedly the best super middleweight in the game. Well, he's boring. No, that's not allowed. That's not allowed. That is not allowed. That's not allowed. I don't care if you're in a television network, you're an armchair supporter, you're a fanatic like me, I don't care. That is not allowed. You can't bring extra stipulations into it. Now, like I said before, and I'm going to keep reheating these lines, maybe we can have a discussion that we bring in an extra criteria for scoring fights, an entertainment factor. Maybe we can cut the ring down to 8 foot. But until then, you have to deal with the actual sweet science. And if you don't like it, get the fuck out of here and go and watch some unlicensed boxing. And even with unlicensed boxing, they appreciate that, because unlicensed boxing has a few different levels and layers to it. You get the real bottom of the barrel dredges thing where they allow you to even elbow a near man. You know what I mean? The referee don't care, because the man who come there just come out to the pub and everything there, and they just want to see somebody get fucked up. Then you get another layer where it's a bit rough and ready, you know what I mean? But it's not as bad. And then you get another layer where you get actual boxers who were just not able to get their licenses. They've got detached retinas, brain abnormalities, which professional boxing wouldn't pass them fit to fight. So they go to that level of unlicensed boxing, but they actually box, just like normal boxers. So even levels of unlicensed boxing appreciate the science of it. This isn't fall out of the pub. This is boxing. And you've got to start giving these dudes their due. You can't be forming your little website cliques talking about elite fighters like Hopkins, Mayweather, Ward, Pernell Whitaker. Oh, they're boring. No. Because let me tell you this now. Yeah, let me tell you this now. They are trying to shut out that kind of boxer. And who do you think is going to affect? I don't want to be racist. Who do you think is going to affect? Yeah, it will affect some European fighters, but for the most part at elite level, it's going to affect black fighters and Latin fighters. When I say Latin, I suppose I'm talking about my era when used to get Puerto Rican fighters like Wilfred Benitez and Hector Camacho. And they basically, the Puerto Rican fighters back in the 80s, they just had a reputation of being defensive geniuses. Wilfred Benitez's nickname was the Ministry of Defense. So yeah, it's going to affect more black and Latin fighters. There's no doubt about that. More than Europeans. Unless you're talking about certain parts of Russia where their amateur boxing program has spawned a lot of technical boxers. For the most part, Europeans or Caucasian fighters, this isn't racist, it's just the truth. They have more a penchant for slugging. That is why Jim Lampley and Larry Merchant are quick to downplay slick boxers and like to big up guys who have large punch counts. And they don't even take into account, was it effective punches? What landed? And I remember them debating on a particular broadcast, and I can't remember if they were talking about Floyd. It was about some African-American fighter, more than likely it was Floyd. Is it enough just to steal a counter punch here and there to get the public's love and affection? Oh, God. And if you was to ask them, are you neutral and objective in your commentary? They'd say yes. They'd say yes. That's the joke of it.
With a right, left, you're toothless. And then you say, God damn, they ruthless.
Even before one punch was thrown between Andre Ward and Chad Dawson, so many people were trying to throw the fight under the bus. They have no right to be telling these fighters who have studied all the correct aspects on how to fucking box in the ring that they've got the problem. Sick of this shit. There is a counter strategy to deal with their bullshit, yeah? But you have to be very proactive. And let me tell you how you do it. As soon when they start saying, yeah, he's a technically gifted fighter and he's undefeated, And he's managed to win all these title belts and defeat all these various styles, and he's took the minimum amount of lumps doing it. And let's say you're in some kind of dialogue with this person saying all that, and you reply back to them and say, yeah, but you still haven't admitted or confessed that you see him as the best fighter. Come on, let me hear it out of your mouth. You say it. And then reluctantly they reply and they go, yeah, you could say he is the best fighter, but, as soon as he says but, as soon as he goes, as soon as you see his lip forming the B, you shut that blood clot down. You jump all over it. Don't even let the B come out of his mouth. Don't even let the B. You see, no, but, no, boo, no, boo. What's he gonna say? You know, it becomes like a quiz show. You can say bad blood, brilliant, bad, boo, boxing, but. Oh, I'm sorry. If you had said but in the context of
Niggas is mad, I get more butt than ashtray, more butt than ashtray, more butt than ashtray.
we would have accepted your answer. But as from now, you are eliminated from taking part in any credible or serious discussions on boxing. However, you do take away the prize of 2 tickets to see Knucklehead A and Knucklehead B duking it out in an 8-foot ring in an unlicensed bout. Peace out.